looks very big. It's very rainy outside, so it's frizzing. Good morning. It is Monday, and I'm at my externship. Today is not the first day that I've been in the office, but it's the first day that I've been in the office and I actually needed to be here. I came in a couple of weeks ago only to be told that we only need to come into the office if we have patients to see, which was not communicated during orientation the weekend prior. So I showed up bright and early for no reason, but I am obviously here today because I finally have a patient to see. I will be seeing my first patient. It is our first session today. My session with that patient isn't until 11 and it is a little bit after 9 right now. It's 9:06. I have my scheduled office time from 9 to 2. So I just came in at 9 so that I could just kind of be in the space, get comfortable, you know. I was the first person in the office. I was the first and only person in the office when I first got here. I actually got here at like 8:50, and I was excited because I was like, ooh, the office is empty. I can like take a video of the space because it's a really nice office. I like the whole floor of offices. It's really nice and really cozy. By the time I made my coffee and everything, 2 other therapists showed up and a client for one of those therapists showed up. So I can no longer show you the office space outside my door, but I can show you the office that I'm in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So this is what it looks like. We have a chair over here. I'm standing by the door right now. We have a little couch situation. That's my stuff over there with my chair. And then we have like this little makeshift desk that's collapsible. So that's what I'm using right now. But yeah, this is the office space. It's very nice, very cozy. I like that there's so many different lighting options in here. So like I have that lamp, I have that lamp, I have that lamp, and then there's one behind me, and then I also have overhead lights, which I only have one of them turned on right now, plus that lamp. So the ambience, sorry, I stopped talking for a second because someone else walked in and the doors in here are really loud for some reason. But yeah, like I was saying, so I have that overhead light turned on and then this lamp. So it's really like the ambiance in here is really cozy and I like it. But yeah, so that's the office. Well, this is my office space that I'm gonna be in for the whole year pretty much. And yeah, oh, I'm sorry, you were so close. I do have a phone consult with another potential patient that was referred to me at 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m. I'm gonna have like a 15-20 minute phone call with that patient, go over some logistical stuff, and then schedule our first session for probably next week, hopefully. Let me drink my coffee. The longer I sit here and talk, the less coffee I'm gonna drink. One of the good things about this office, they have an espresso machine out there. Listen, I have never used an espresso machine until a couple of weeks ago when I was here for orientation. And I think it might have ruined coffee for me. It's so good that like regular coffee just doesn't taste good to me anymore. So like knowing that I was coming to the office today and therefore could use the Nespresso machine rather than buying coffee at Dunkin' like I normally would, I packed a little glass jar, and in it I just brought from home some of the pumpkin spice flavor that I like in my coffee right now because it's fall time. And when I got here, I put some ice in here and then made some Nespresso and then made my own little iced coffee. And it's the best tasting thing I've ever had in my entire life. So yeah, regular coffee, just regular K-cups, regular coffee. It's ruined for me now because Nespresso just tastes really good. But yeah, I am thinking a lot about my first session today, and I'm both like really excited and really nervous because at my previous externship last year and in the first year of my program, the way we kind of ran our first sessions was pretty much like outlined for us, in that we had a pretty like structured, semi-structured kind of intake process that we had to follow, intake interview almost, where we had to ask like very specific questions, like get certain information, so that like by the end of the first session we had a pretty, at least like mostly complete picture of the patient's like history and background. But here at this externship, technically what was explained to me by my supervisor and a couple of other folks here is that technically the intake here is basically like your first 3 or 4 sessions with the patient, so you're not like rushing to gather so much information within that first 45-minute session. You can really like take your time and kind of feel things out and kind of just gather information as you guys talk naturally. And so knowing that going into the session later, I'm like it's nice to have the freedom and flexibility to not have to like stick to a script, but it's also like that script was kind of like my safety net. And so now that I don't really have that script to follow, or that I'm not required to follow a script, it's like, okay, do I stay in my comfort zone and kind of just stick to the script anyway because it's what I know? Or, oh my God, what's happening to my voice? Or do I kind of just, go with the flow and experiment a little bit and see, what kind of comes out naturally? Because another thing about this externship is that this externship in particular is very like psychoanalytic, psychodynamically driven, and like my supervisor is very psychoanalytic, and so I really want to like start experimenting with that kind of like way of working, because I haven't really fully been able to do that yet. So we'll see what happens when 11 o'clock gets here. And we'll see. I'll come back afterwards and let y'all know how it went. Another thing, update, is that when I got in this morning and checked my email, my supervisor had to stay home today. The supervisor that I meet with when I'm here. And so typically I would have supervision at 12 in my supervisor's office, but he's not here today. So that means that after my session, I can literally just go home, which is nice. I don't have to be here till 2. Yeah, I should probably finish my coffee, or at least drink more of it, eat my breakfast. Y'all know, overnight oats. I'm still on this. Cannot get over it. It is literally just like my favorite breakfast to eat now because it's so simple. And then I'll come back either before my session, before my patient gets here, or after my session when I'm leaving. Okay. almost forgot to come back. I finished up my session with my patient. Our first session went really well. Personally, that's what I think. And I wrote up my note and everything, and I'm actually about to leave the office and head home because I want to go home. I don't have to be here, so I don't want to be here. So I am going to leave, go home. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. It's raining outside, so by the time I get home, it's gonna be a puffball anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go home, and once I'm home, I will come back while I am probably eating lunch, because by the time I get home, it would be a little bit after 1 o'clock probably. So yeah, I'll come back while I'm eating lunch and tell y'all how my session went. Okay, I'm home. It's 1:35. So I've been home for 25, almost 30 minutes now. I got home pretty much like right after 1 o'clock. And I had to put my hair in a bun. Oh, what is this? I had to put my hair in a bun because the rain and humidity outside meant that I looked like a freaking Pomeranian by the time I got home. What the did I get it? Okay. I looked like a Pomeranian by the time I got home. And so this is what it is now. Oh well. But yeah, my session went really well. My patient is really nice. I think she's cool. I like her so far. I have the sense that this is going to be a very interesting treatment. The way this patient got referred to me was that she came to the clinic over the summer looking for therapy and specifically requested a Black therapist. The reason I was told that she wanted a Black therapist, I understand, but also that didn't come up today. And so I'm wondering if there's like a unspoken understanding that she expects us to have. But also based on what she was saying today, that seems to be a thing with her. Like she just has she has unspoken understandings about things in her life. And so yeah, there's gonna be some interesting transference, countertransference stuff going on, I feel like. So yeah, I have some French fries in the oven. I'm very hungry. I started getting a headache on the way home. I don't think it's because I'm hungry. I think it's because I'm tired. Fun fact, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. Because I think that I was like a little anxious for my first session today. So like I had a really hard time falling asleep. I don't think I fell asleep until like almost midnight. And then I pretty much woke up at like almost 3:30. It was a little bit after 3, like 3:15, 3:20ish. And I was more or less up for like 2 hours. I was like dozing off every now and then, but I wasn't ever fully asleep or staying asleep until around like 5:20ish. I finally like fell back asleep, but then I had to be up at 6. So yeah, I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. And so I'm very tired. And I think that's why I have the headache that I have. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, my intention was to come home and eat and take a quick nap. But that's not gonna happen because when I got home, rather than immediately putting my French fries in the oven and then doing other stuff while I was waiting on those, I sat down at my computer and decided to start answering emails. So I am now waiting on my French fries to be done, which means by the time I'm done eating, it will be time for my 2 o'clock didactics meeting for my externship. And that lasts from 2 until 3:15. Thankfully, we didn't have any like readings to do for today. Instead, we are continuing a conversation that kind of came up from last week's readings, because it seems to be a topic that everyone really wanted to talk about. Not me, quite frankly. The conversation that came up had very little to do with me as an extern. It was a topic of fee setting and like how to have that conversation about money with your patients. I'm an extern, and therefore I don't get any of the money that comes into the clinic, and therefore talking about money with patients isn't really my concern. So I'm about to sit in an hour and 15-minute long meeting about something that has very little to do with me. I mean, I get the clinical significance in that, like, once, you know, I'm on, not even internship. I don't even think I get paid on internship, but I still don't think I'll have anything to do with fee setting at that point. So this is like not a thing that will affect me until I'm like a postdoc, which is like 3 years from now. And so I get that, like, it's nice that I'm getting perspective on this now, because by the time I get there, I'll kind of know what to expect. But also, I'm really big right now on like not worrying or talking about things that I don't have to talk about or worry about within the next year. So like, even though I get it, I like don't care to be talking about it because it's irrelevant to me right now. That sounds really bad, but unfortunately I will have to be in this meeting. So that's the thing. Thankfully it's on Zoom. So I was in the middle of talking and my timer for my french fries went off. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oi, heat. Oh, I think I was talking about didactics. Yeah, I'm gonna have that at 2. And then I guess I can take a nap after that, but I also have readings to do for class tomorrow. They're really long readings too. We'll see. If this headache doesn't go away, then a nap will be happening. If the headache does go away, then I'll probably just take like a 30-minute break or something. I hate how thin the walls are in my apartment building. It's so annoying. That's part of why I couldn't sleep too. It's not that I like wasn't falling asleep between 3:20 and 5:20. It was that every time I fell asleep, I have this neighbor now. They moved in a few months ago. And they seem to, for some reason, be up and in their kitchen at 4:30 in the freaking morning, every morning. And I am in my apartment, the unfortunate situation in which both of my walls on either side of my apartment, so that wall back there and then the wall in front of me, which is the wall my kitchen is on, both walls on the opposite side have the kitchens of the apartments next to me. So the wall in front of me is my kitchen, and then on the other side of this wall is that apartment's kitchen, and then that wall that my bed sits on the other side of that wall, is that apartment's kitchen. So either way, I'm hearing people in their kitchen all the time, and that particular neighbor, that side, for some reason is up in their kitchen, cooking, using the microwave, making all types of noise at 4:30 in the morning, every morning. And I hear it, and it wakes me up because the microwaves are loud when they close, and it scares me awake. So I don't even remember how I got on the tangent. But anyway, I'm going to eat my french fries. Oh my God. I'm gonna eat my french fries, have the didactics meeting, and then see how I feel afterwards. I might take a nap, I might not, see how it goes. And then after that, I have therapy later, like my own therapy. So I'll probably come back at some point before then and close out the vlog. But until then, I'll see you later. I took a nap. I was literally trying so hard not to fall asleep during it, and I had such a headache. I knew I needed to go to sleep. So I clicked off the Zoom at 3:15, and by 3:17 I was in bed. I'm covering my face like this because this is the side I was sleeping on, and so like the entire left side of my face, my makeup and everything is like, yeah. So I'm just covering that up. I think it's like 5:20 something right now. I'm very clearly still tired, but I am probably gonna try to get some reading done and then eat dinner within the next like hour and a half, because I have therapy at 7. So I should try to get at least one thing done. But considering how tired I am, I'm probably gonna stop recording here for today, and I will pick back up probably tomorrow or another day this week, but most likely tomorrow. Okay. Good night. Good morning. It's Tuesday, and today is the day that Tuesdays are the day, I guess I should say, that I TA a class pretty much all day, from like 9 till 4, with breaks in between, but still. So that is where I'm headed to today. I'm actually running a little bit behind because I was being lazy last night because of how tired I was and didn't do my hair ahead of time, and so it took me 30 minutes to do this today. 30 minutes, just a simple ponytail, and as usual there's fuzz and shit in my hair because of course there is. But yeah, I have to get running. I wish I had time to kind of explain more about the TA thing, but I will come back during a break that we have and explain further about this class that I TA. But yeah, I'll be back later. Y'all, I have had a morning. So it's now 12:45. I'm in my lab room. I got to class at 9 a.m. Sat down, opened my laptop, and it wouldn't turn on. I said, oh, it's probably just dead. I used it the day before, so it probably just died. No big deal. I plug it in. I wait a couple minutes and try to turn it on, and it still won't turn on. So I'm okay. Maybe I just need to let it charge for a while. No big deal. I'm not freaking out whatsoever. I let it charge for like 10 minutes. Try to turn it on. Won't turn on. So now I'm like, oh, it's cold outside. Maybe it's too cold to turn on. You know, cold weather affects electronics and whatever. Okay, maybe it just needs to warm up a little bit. And you know what? While it's warming up, I'll keep letting it charge. An hour goes by. It's now 10 o'clock. And I tried to turn it on and it won't turn on. Sorry, y'all. Someone walked in. But yeah, my computer has just been not functioning all day. So I haven't been able to do anything all day. And I was like stress communicating with Apple Care trying to get it to work, and they couldn't figure it out. So I have to take it to the Apple store after I leave campus in a few hours, and hope, desperately hope that they can get it to turn on, because I do not have $2,000 to drop on a new laptop right now. So I'm like internally freaking out. That's why I haven't come back until now. I like did not record anything in the class, and I have to go back in a little bit for the second half, and so I'm just like kind of here, not really able to do anything, and I have so much work to do. And I don't even know, like I keep thinking back and trying to figure out like why it would just stop working the way it did, because like when I plug it in to charge, the light on the charger turns on, like it turns orange, so that lets me know that like it's still somewhat alive. It just won't turn on for some reason, and there are like files on there that I need, and if I can't get those files off, I'm screwed. So yeah, I'm really stressed out right now. So I will probably, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is like all I can think about right now is whether or not I'm gonna be able to have a laptop later, or if I'm gonna have to magically come up with $2,000 for a new one. I'll try to record some of the class. If I can't, because chances are I probably just won't remember to once I get in there, then the next time y'all see me will either be while I'm at the Apple store crying my eyes out, or when I get home crying my eyes out. But there will probably be tears. Yeah. Okay. I'm home. Sans laptop, no laptop, but there are no tears because there's still hope. So I went to the Apple store and they tried all the same reboot strategies that Apple Support was telling me to do over the phone. Nothing was working, so the person helping me was like, okay, well, I have to take it to the back and open it up. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay. So she did. And she came back like 20 minutes later and was like, yeah, no, it's not turning on. So my only options were to send it off to get repaired or buy a new laptop. And sending it off to get repaired is what I ended up doing. But that means that I'm not gonna have a laptop for 2 weeks. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do because I need a laptop. Going to work and going to campus, I'm pretty much not gonna be able to do anything when I'm not home, which sucks. Yeah, I don't know. That was my day. And I'm like really upset because I was so preoccupied with trying to get my laptop fixed that I really couldn't like vlog class today because I just like was not in the mood. I was like really frustrated all morning, and then in the second half of class I was just like trying to be present and be as engaged as possible, knowing that right afterwards I had to like run to the Apple store. So but I guess to give y'all like a kind of brief explanation as to why TAing this class is like an all-day thing. So this year I am a TA for the first year practicum class, which is a class that all first year PhD students in my program are required to take. And it's connected to the first year clinical program, which is how we see our first few patients in my program in our first year. And so if you've seen any of my videos from first year, like my update videos, when I'm talking about doing clinical work in my first year, it's through this in-house program that my school has. And so that's what the first year practicum class is. And I am a TA this year. It's a full fall and spring semester position. So I will be TAing this class all year. And the way the class is set up this year is very different from how it was set up when I was taking it, in that when I took it, it was just like a 2-hour class, and then everything else we had to do for the clinic was kind of spread out throughout the week, and we had to like find, you know, our own kind of way of working things into our schedule, and you know, scheduling conflicts were inevitable. But the way the professor set it up this year, which I think has its pros and cons, is that rather than leaving it up to everyone else to, like, rather than leaving it up to the students to figure out when they have to like fit in group supervision and when they have to fit in, you know, individual supervision, well, they still have to do that a little bit. Rather than leaving it up to them to figure out scheduling apart from the class itself, the professor set it up to where it's pretty much like an all-day class, in that it's we stay together as like one big group essentially for the whole day, with the exception of breaking off for group supervision. But for the most part, we are together all day as one big group, and the day is split into sections. So like the first hour and a half, 2 hours, I think, of the day are clinic check-ins and case conference, which is like dedicated time specifically for them to talk about any concerns they have with their clients, any concerns they have with the clinic. After that, the next hour is group supervision, which is when we split off for, you know, smaller groups for group supervision. 12 to 1 is like their lunch break. 1 to 2 is TA sessions, which is for the past few weeks has been just like me and the other TA, like practicing first sessions with them and talking them through the process of like intake and all of that. And then ongoing, it'll probably just be like check-in times if they have any specific questions related to the clinic or the class. And then from 2 to 4 is the practicum class, which is just like didactics. Pros is that it kind of takes out the hassle of having them try to figure out their own schedule. Cons is that it's a long day. And being with one group of people in a room all day can get really exhausting. With all that being said, it has been a very long day for me, mentally and emotionally. I need to eat. With everything that was going on today, I completely forgot to eat my breakfast. So I didn't eat my breakfast till like 12. And I haven't eaten since then. So I'm quite hungry. And I have an assignment to do that I think is due by 8 p.m. I don't know what time it is right now. I think it's almost 6. It's due by 8 p.m. I have only done one of the 3 readings required in order to do this assignment. So I'm gonna go eat real quick and then try to very quickly skim the other readings so that I can throw something together. One of the benefits of my program having our classes be pass-fail is that only minimum effort is required, and you know, every assignment is not going to be my best work, and I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna get food and try to get that done, and that is going to be it for Tuesday. I'm sorry that today was not the best Tuesday to vlog, but this is what it ended up being. So yeah, see y'all tomorrow. Y'all don't be mad at me. It's about to be 2 o'clock. Okay, so hi. It's Wednesday. I completely forgot to vlog today because I have a reason. I woke up like frustrated about my laptop and the fact that I don't have one and I have to go to class today. I just was not in a mood this morning and therefore completely forgot that I was supposed to be vlogging today. Granted though, you haven't missed much. I've been sitting at my desktop all day working on my manuscript and some other things. I'm trying to get as much done before I go to campus because I don't have a laptop to work on while I'm on campus. So it's now forcing me to really use all of my spare time while I'm home working on stuff, which is annoying because I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to have to be cramming in work before I leave my apartment because I can't work while I'm not home. So yeah, that's what I've been doing all day. You haven't missed much. It's literally just been me sitting at my desk typing. That being said though, I will have something to use while I am on campus, thanks to my boyfriend who has an old tablet. He has an old tablet that he's gonna lend me to use for the next few weeks while I'm waiting for my laptop to come back. And so I'm actually about to leave my apartment a bit early. I don't have class until 4, but I'm about to leave now to meet him in the city to pick up the tablet. And then, yeah, I'm gonna head to class and try to be productive on a tablet. If this does work out though, I will say that it's just going to be further evidence that I need to buy an iPad. I've been wanting to buy an iPad for so long and I keep talking myself out of it because I can't, I kept telling myself that I couldn't justify buying an iPad because I have a laptop, but now I don't have a laptop, and hopefully this tablet situation works out to where I can use it for some form of productivity, which will then just prove to me that I need to buy an iPad. So we'll see. Yeah, I have both of my classes today, one at 4 and then one at 6. And yeah. Hello, I'm home. I'm so tired. I have a headache. Why does my face look so shiny? Consequences of being an oily girl. So yeah, I got the tablet from my boyfriend and I'm not exactly sure how useful it's gonna be. It was nice because I could get into my Google Drive, and so in my first class I was able to have the readings in front of me and like be able to reference them while we were talking. So that was nice, because if I hadn't been able to do that, then I wouldn't have been able to contribute to the discussion in class today, because I read those papers over the weekend and I don't really remember them. I have no idea how loud that's going to be. My window's open. I opened my window when I got home, so that was probably really loud, and I'm sorry. But as far as like actually working on the tablet, I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to do that. Like, probably the most I'll be able to do is like read papers that are in my Google Drive and like notate them. But as far as like doing any like writing or anything, probably not going to be able to do that on the tablet. But I appreciate him trying to help, and it is helpful to an extent. It's just not going to allow me to be as productive as I want to be when I'm not home. So that first class I think today was probably like the most actively involved in the discussion I've been since the semester started. And I think the readings that we had to do this week were on like the history, like the real history of welfare programs in the United States, and like affirmative action and stuff like that. And I have some really strong opinions on that. And so I think that's part of why I was so like actively engaged in the discussion today. Because it's a fairly small class. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 7 of us. Considering that I have a headache right now, that sound is not pleasant. Yeah, there's only 7 of us. Which I think I like, because it makes me less afraid to speak up. When there are more people involved in discussions, I tend to not speak or engage as much. I think the fact that there's only 7 people in the class, not including the professor makes 8. But I think the fact that there's only 7 of us makes it easier for me to talk and speak my mind openly. So that was nice. And I think the professor appreciated it too, because he kept like coming back to me to get my opinion on shit. And I was like, all right, sir, I said my piece. That was it. I said my piece and I want to be done. Stop following up. I'm okay. But yeah, I like that class. It's not too bad. If you watched my September update, oh my God, my mind already wants the semester to be over, clearly. If you watched my September update, then you'll kind of know that I'm a little wary of the class as a whole, and like the professor and how he decides to teach it. But the discussion today was pretty fruitful. Yeah, that's it. These were the first 3 days of the week. I'm gonna go. I'm tired. I want to shower. It's almost 9. So that's it for this vlog. I'm sorry that it was like so uneventful because of my stress from yesterday. I will come back and vlog again some other week when I have my laptop back and I have more stuff to do, so it's more interesting to watch. But I can't let this footage go to waste because I have a content schedule that I need to stick to, otherwise videos will not get done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I truly appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. And as always, like, share, and subscribe, and click that little notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. And I'll see you in my next one.